Hello people on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'd like to talk about an interesting Power Query technique, which is where you can split the columns by a delimiter and the number of columns that get generated are variable or dynamic. Now, if you have used the split by feature in Power Query, I'm sure you know that the number of columns that get generated after you split by a delimiter are fixed and they are not really dynamic, they are not really variable. I'll show you a simple M technique. We'll just write some simple M code to make the number of columns dynamic. All right, no further ado. I hope that sounds interesting. Let's go. All right, people, I'm in this Excel file and which is where I have a ridiculously simple data, just two rows. The first row is Rehat, he's my son, and this is me, Chandeep. And we have got our hobbies in the next column. So my son likes to play, cry, and hulk. Anything to do with hulk, my son is a big fan of hulk, so hulking becomes his hobby. Any which ways, if I were to separate these hobbies into different columns, I would tend to put the first hobby in column 1, then hobby number 2 in column number 2, and hobby number 3 right here. And this can be obviously achieved by split by feature in Power Query, but the problem is if tomorrow if I tend to add another hobby and I have already built a query on top of that, the fourth column is not going to get generated. Obviously, you need to take a look at the problem if you haven't encountered that in the past. So let's just go ahead and load this data into Power Query and hopefully you will understand. So this data, go to the data tab and say from table range, and I land the data inside of the Power Query window. All right, pretty cool. There's a change type step which I do not really need. I'm going to get rid of that. If I come to the hobbies column, I right click and I say that I'd like to split the column by a delimiter, and my delimiter happens to be a comma, and I say okay. Obviously the column gets split and now there's a change type again which I can delete, and now I have three hobbies column, hobbies 1, hobbies 2 and hobbies 3 right here. Let me just zoom out a bit. Now if you take a look at the M code which is generated by the split by column delimiter step, take a look. The hobbies column, which is hobbies 1, 2, 3, are manually hard coded right here. Hobbies 1, hobbies 2 and hobbies 3. That means tomorrow if the number of hobbies were to increase by another comma or a delimiter, I would not really get the fourth column because the fourth column cannot automatically be hard coded within the formula. So how do we actually solve this particular problem? All right, to be able to solve this particular problem, what I'm going to do is first explain you the logic, and then once you understand the logic, we'll start writing a bit of M code to be able to make this dynamic. First things first, if you now take a look at this particular table.split column, I'm going to change nothing in this particular formula. It's going to remain as it is. The only thing that I'm going to try to make it dynamic is the input of the names of the columns. That means no matter how many columns do I have, I would like this to be inputted automatically, and Power Query should not feed that manually inside of the formula. That's part one. The second thing is that if you take a look at this particular formula, this formula is accepting the names of the hobbies or the columns, which are hobbies 1, hobbies 2 and hobbies 3, as a list. See that there's a curly bracket right here and there's a curly bracket right here. This is nothing but the list of the names of the columns through which you'd have to split. So when I'm trying to make my query dynamic and I'm trying to feed the names of the columns cannot just purely go as text. They have to go in a form of a list. So that's what I have to remember. Now, let's just go over to the source step and try to understand the logic that how are we going to generate multiple number of columns depending upon the delimiters that we have. So if I just go back to the source step, take a look, the easiest way to solve this problem is to just count the number of commas there are. So if there are, like, say 2 commas right here, which are nothing but my 2 delimiters, then obviously I need to create 3 columns. If there are no commas right here, then I just need to create 1 single column. And that pretty much actually solves my problem. So what I need to do is I need to count the maximum number of commas there are in this entire list right here, and then just create a list and just attach the word hobbies along with it, make sure that it's a list and feed that to my formula. That sounds like a lot of work, but it's going to be incredibly simple. Let's just go start cracking with some simple M code and solve this problem. All right, people, let's start simple and let's start to count the number of commas that we have. Commas are nothing but our delimiters. Find the number of commas that we have in the hobbies column, and that is going to be a good start from where we will actually build the query forward. Add columns tab, create a custom column, and I will just write a simple logic to find out how many commas there are. There happens to be a function in Power Query which is text.positionOf, right? Now text.positionOf function is going to allow you to count the position of any particular text within a larger text. So my text that I'm trying to find is nothing but a comma, and I'm trying to find the comma in the hobbies column right here. So I'm just going to feed the hobbies column as the first input and say that my text that I'm trying to find the position of is nothing but a comma. Note that I'm not really trying to find the position of, but I'm just trying to find how many commas are there. But this is a good technique to start. So let's just take a look. If I now just kind of close the bracket and I press enter, I'm going to get that the first comma in this particular text is on the 7th position. But I'm not really interested in just the comma position for the first character. I'm interested in all the commas there are, and I don't really want to know their position. I want to find out how many commas are there. So let's just tweak the formula a little bit. So I'm just going to come to this formula and add the last part of the function, which is how many times does the comma come. So I'm just going to say occurrence.all, and I'm just going to say okay. This produces a list, and if I peek into the list, it actually gives me the number of instances and the positions of those instances where it finds the comma. So the first comma is found on the 7th position and the second comma is found on the 15th position. Now there are 2 commas. That means how many columns are we going to generate? 3 columns. So I'm just going to go ahead and not really do anything with the list, but count the number of items there are in the list. So go right here. I'm going to use the function list.count and wrap this around in that function and close the bracket, and of course add 1 to that, because that's what is going to give me the number of columns to generate. So now if there are like 2 commas, I get 3 columns that I'd like to generate. If there are no commas, I get 1 column that I'd like to generate. Pretty good. Now what I'd like to do is I want to be able to use this custom column further in my M code to find out that how many columns do I want to generate. Now think about this logic for just a second. If I'm trying to split this entire query into 3 columns, so column 1, column 2 and column 3, then obviously sleeping is going to go in the first column. But if there happens to be 4 columns right here, then this number is going to be 4 and I'll split it into 4 columns. So from this entire number that I have got of the number of commas, I want to find that what is the maximum number. That's what I'd like to do. Let's create a new step and start to manipulate this query further. I'm going to click on the FX right here, and a new step has been created. Now from this particular step, I would like to extract this custom column and find out that what is the largest number here, which is going to tell me that how many columns do I have to create. So how do I extract this column? I'm just going to write the name of the custom column right here, and this column is going to get extracted as a list. Press enter, and there is a list, and list has all the number of commas that Power Query found in each and every row. Now I don't really want all of them, I just want to find the maximum of that. So I can use the function called list.max, and this is actually going to give me the maximum number of the columns that we would want to generate. Pretty cool. Now that we have received that we would like to generate 3 columns, now I don't really want to write the number 3. I should write something like hobbies 1 and hobbies 2 and hobbies 3. And this should become something like a list. And this list should go into the formula that we saw at the start of the video. That is actually going to solve this problem. So this 3 is just the number of columns that I would like to generate. From this 3, I would want to create something like this: hobbies 1, hobbies 2 and hobbies 3. How do we do that? So the first thing that I'm going to do is, again, from this 3, I would like to convert this back into a list. In that list, how many values are we going to have? 3 values: 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm just going to create something like 1 ... and the number 3. This part of the formula gives me the number 3, and the 1 is the starting number. Curly brackets actually creates a list. So I'm now creating a list which starts with 1 and goes up till the maximum number. Okay, that's the first thing solved. Now against every single item of the list, I would like to concatenate the word hobby. So hobby 1, hobby 2 and hobby 3. That's what I'd like to do. How do I do that? I'm going to use the function list.transform. So in the list.transform function, I'm going to say that I'm trying to transform a list. Which list am I trying to transform? This is the list. So the first part of the list.transform function is the list, and here is my list that I'm trying to transform. In this transformation process, I'm trying to add a concatenated word, which is nothing but the hobby, to every single number that I have. So how do I write that logic? I'm going to put a comma and I'm going to write the each keyword, because I would like to be able to pick up every single number and concatenate the word hobby. So I'm going to say that please concatenate the word hobby and concatenate that with every single item. And you know that every single item is referred by an underscore. I close the bracket and I press enter. This actually gives me an error. Let's just go find out what the error is. If I click on the side of the error, it says that we cannot really apply a concatenation symbol to something which is a text and something which is a number. That means hobby happens to be a text, but 1, 2, 3 that was there initially happened to be a number. So it can't really concatenate a number and a text. That's easy, not a problem. So I'm going to say that before you concatenate, why don't you convert the number into a text? So I'm just going to use the function text.from to convert the number into a text. So if I now press enter, I am going to get something like this. So hobby 1, hobby 2 and hobby 3. Pretty good. Now this is the list. You can see that we have received a list, and this is the list which is going to be an input to the split by columns function, which is actually going to make my query dynamic. So let's just call this custom one into some sort of list. So I'm just going to call this dynamic columns, right? And create the split by step once again so that we can feed this dynamic columns into that particular step. So I'm going to come back to the fx right here. Fx creates a step, but I don't really want to refer to dynamic columns, which is nothing but the list that I've already created. I would like to refer it to, let's say, the source, right? So I'm just going to maybe refer back to the source, press enter, which is where I have all my columns, and this is where I would like to apply a split. Right click on the column and I say that I'd like to split the column by a delimiter. Comma is fine, each occurrence is okay, say okay, and that is a split. Now take a look here. Is where this is a change type step, so I'd like to delete that before I forget. So now here is where hobbies 1, hobbies 2 and hobbies 3 were written manually within the formula, but now the good thing is that this is a list which I can replace it with the list that I have created, which is nothing but my dynamic columns. So let me just get rid of that and apply dynamic columns right here. Press enter. Now obviously the names are going to change. This is going to be hobby 1, hobby 2 and hobby 3, but this actually works pretty good. Now the change type step is so persistent that it comes again and again. I have to make sure that I delete that. Let's load this data back into Excel and try to verify if this is correct or not. All right, people, I'm back in my Excel. Let's just try to verify this. So if I happen to add another hobby for my son, let's say hulking can also become sulking because he sulks a lot. And now if I happen to refresh the query, I right click and I refresh, you can see that I now have the 4th column added without any glitches. Let's just try to reduce the columns and see if that actually works or not. So I'm just going to say that he only plays and he only, let's say, cries. And I'm just going to now try to refresh. And now I have 2 columns, and this is again without any glitches. This is awesome. All right, that was all about creating a split by dynamic columns in Power Query. I have written a blog post on the same topic quite a while ago, but I absolutely forgot to create a video on that, and this is the video that I just created. Let me know what you think about this, and of course if you have any questions around this, please feel free to put in a comment and I will be glad to reply. In the end, a quick shout about my DAX and my Power Query courses. In case you are starting out and you'd like to master the fundamentals first and then try to solve more sophisticated, more challenging problems and get to another level of problem solving, I'd highly encourage that you take a look at my courses. It's going to be highly awesome. Thanks so much for sticking around, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye.